So I was on a call with one of my sales reps, and we were talking about self improvement, which is a pretty common topic that we have because it's a very, very high correlation to self improvement, getting better as a person, and business and sales. And I actually started scrolling through my notes, and I was finding, the things that I used to write to myself back when I first trying to be a better person, when I first took the path of getting to, essentially where I am today. And I found a note which is incredibly prevalent for me right now, and I wanted to share it. And the name of that note was Arrogance Kills Progress. When I saw that, it really dawned upon me that the lessons that you learn at earlier times, even though the situation is far more different, is still very, very accurate to the modern day. So, arrogance really does kill progress. The beautiful thing about being a human is that you have the full ability to essentially custom make your reality. Anything that you want to do, you have the ability to do it. And if you cannot do it, it's because there is some type of limitation on you. And there's two types of limitations. One, you have physics. I cannot fly because there's physics. But two is yourself and your mentality. And if we break that down and make a little decision tree, when we look at ourselves and how we can limit, one with our skill set. I cannot drive NASCAR, for example. I cannot do a lot of things because I do not have those skills. Doesn't mean I can't learn the skills and eventually get there, but in modern day right now I cannot do it. But then the second limit is on ourself. And when I say on ourselves, it's essentially our mindset. And there's two ways about that. One, telling yourself you cannot do something. Honestly, this one's pretty easy. You tell yourself you cannot do it, you are setting yourself a ceiling that you cannot go by. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the limits you put on yourself unconsciously, and that is through arrogance. As you start to achieve things, as you start to make progress, you build confidence in yourself. Where does confidence come from? Results. Where does results come from? Putting in the work. What happens when you put in the work? You make mistakes, you have challenges, you deal with adversity, and confidence comes from when you put in the work, you deal with challenges and adversity and coming through them. Saying, I told myself I could do it, and I did it. And it's a double-edged sword because, anything that was built and required greatness was on the back of someone who believed in themselves. But there is a part where you believe in yourself too much and you think better than you actually are, and that's where the saying arrogance kills progress comes in. And for me, it's very prevalent right now because, in this current point of business in my career, I'm not happy with where I am right now. I think I could be, not I think, I know I could be doing more. I believe that where we are right now is not indicative of my skills as a business owner, but I am here right now. So when we reverse engineer how the hell that we got here, it's pretty much just one thing. It's arrogance. We got too cocky, both me and my brother Daniel, as we started hitting goals, as we started progressing, as we started breaking barriers that previously held us back. Dude, you start feeling like the man. You start thinking you can do everything. You start walking around with your chest popped up a little bit more. But you know what happens? You start letting it get to you. You think you're better than you actually are. And when you are incredibly arrogant, you get punched in the face and you don't have the skills to be able to get past that. And it's not because you don't have it within you, it's because you think you already have it. So in business, whether you are a real estate wholesaler or anything, you really only get paid for how good and skilled you are, how much value you're able to provide to the marketplace. It's a function of marketing, it's a function of sales, it's a function of whatever the hell you are selling or delivering. But when you think you are too good, when you think you have something and the market says otherwise, the results the outputs, they are different. You start saying, oh, it's not because of me, I'm so great, and look what I've been able to do, look at my track record, X, Y, Z. You start pointing the fingers. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. It's the economy. It's the market. Or whatever excuse that essentially you lie to yourself about. And that's where arrogance comes from. Arrogance is just your ego. When you have your ego, you are essentially flying delusional. You don't know what you are doing. You are masking whatever feelings that you have within yourself. It's protecting it with your ego. But once you start letting your ego talk, it becomes your limiter. You don't progress. You don't have the mindset of a student of how I can be better. Hell, you can even say to yourself, I am a student. I'm always trying to get better. And I can't lie. Like, that's what I do as well. It's like when we go through this period, it's just like, oh, it's, part of the business. Like, I know we can overcome it because we can, but I'm just going to continue to get better. And, got better, but things didn't change. And you have to remember, things don't change instantly. They are a function of your inputs and your process, but they don't change over 3, 4, 5 months. It's a direct reflection of like what you are able to do. And then because you have this belief within yourself that you are so great and so amazing and the greatest gift since God to God's earth, or whatever the hell you would say, then you end up just not getting better, not making progress, because you let your ego take control. The feeling of getting hit in the face, the feeling of saying, oh, we actually went down, we actually didn't do this well, it fucking sucks. It's pretty embarrassing, and you want to protect yourself from embarrassment. And I go look at, like, for example, like this plaque in the back. It's $1 million ClickFunnels plaque, and kind of embarrassed of it. It's something that I always wanted. It just came into the mail because compare myself to really high level entrepreneurs within my space, within my field, and just saying like, oh, we've only done 1 million, which it's just like kind of feels like a participation trophy, but that's my ego talking. That's me thinking that I'm better than I actually am. It's the reason that it gives me like disgust is because I think that I am better than that plaque. You see the ones that say 10 million, 25 million, 50 million, 100 million, and that's what I know is able to be achieved. It's what I know I can do, and the fact that I'm not there makes me embarrassed of what I have right now. But that same mindset, that arrogance, that ego halts your progress. You're afraid of the pain. You're afraid of getting hit in the face. You're afraid of hitting the honest truth and the raw reality of what things are, because you just have your ego that you need to protect. When I look back at this note, it's super funny because there's some other things that go into it. It's in all caps, underdog mindset. Stop making excuses and go do your thing. You got cocky. As simple as that. You thought it was such a lock. You got cocky about being in my bag. You gotta stay hungry. Second place mentality. That chip on the shoulder. It's exactly what you need, because the person who has the chip on the shoulder, the person who feels like that they have something to prove, it's the exact opposite of arrogance. It's the exact opposite of cockiness. They know that they are not good enough and that there are people above them, and they need to do exactly what it takes to get there. And as soon as you really operate that mindset and put your ego down, things just happen. Put in the work. It's never linear. It's never straight up. You have your ups, you have your downs, you have your ups, you have your downs, and you keep realizing that you're stuck. You have this up, you have this up, you keep hitting it, you keep hitting it, you keep hitting it. And when you can't get past it, you tell yourself you do something and you do it, and you're used to that. That's where the confidence comes from. And you can't do it. It's just the ego dying, and it's painful. And the more that you have that ego, the harder it is to actually realize the truth, to realize that you are not good enough. But the beautiful thing is that you need the ability to change it, the ability to go out and get it, because the storm doesn't just stay for the whole entire time. Humans are meant to progress. Humans are meant to get better. Humans are meant to break past their limitations, because that's what transcendence is. It's like a butterfly. The caterpillar is not meant to stay in its cocoon the whole entire time. At some point, it has to just like do what fucking butterflies do and punch through the caterpillar or the cocoon and transcend into a butterfly. And the reason why I make this YouTube video, and this is what I'm going to end it, is I didn't like that it took me this long to realize this. It's not something that I realized today just going through my notes. My notes just, inspired this, but I really wish my regret is that I was able to compress the timeline. I didn't like taking 5 or 6 months of getting hit in the face. I'd much rather it be 1 or 2. And what I want isn't also what the physics are. Sometimes the universe and God has a reason for you to get punched in the face multiple times longer than you want. But when I look back at my process, you can't control what happened. You can't control how long it took for you to, get past it. The only thing that I like to focus on is like when this happens again, because it will happen again. It will happen many, many more times as I try to climb and achieve things. How can I compress that timeline? How can I learn the lessons that I need to learn? Because all of this is stuff that you need to learn. How can I learn it faster? Not faster because I'm in a rush and I don't like the pain of being where I am, but faster as in like I just want to achieve my things faster. It's just looking at your systems and efficiency. Like how can you do something better and quicker? And if you're even using the example of like a service or product, cheaper. That's the only thing that I take out of this is my regret. It's just I wish I compressed the timeline, because the faster you compress the timeline in which you learn the lessons and most importantly execute on what you learn to get past that level, the faster you can achieve your goal. And that's what all I want to do is just continue to achieve my goals, continue to get better. And this reminder that arrogance kills progress was a really great reminder. And I know I will look back at this time and realize that this was exactly what I needed. This is exactly how it was supposed to happen, because it always works out.